Hello. All right, it has been a little bit since I streamed last. I haven't even done my hair yet today, but we're not gonna bother with that. We are preparing for something really, really big that I will be announcing probably next week or possibly the week after. Coming at the end of September, it's gonna be fantastic, really, really cool. But I need to have 2 more workshops done than I currently have for that. And the 2 workshops that I'm working on are the authentication or authorization workshop and the UI workshop. These are 2 things that people have been asking me about a lot. And so we're going to give the people what they want. And what they need for building really awesome user experiences with MCP. So with most stuff that I work on, it is like a lot of what I do starts with actually building something relatively real. Even like I'll build something that I use myself, and then I build something that I have overscoped, so I can really put things through their paces. And so I'm going to be working a little bit on that to make sure that I know like really what it is. It's the end state of the workshops. So the workshops are kind of iterating, building upon it themselves to get to what this eventual thing that I built looks like. Yeah, so I need to finish that. I've got the authorization stuff done as far as like here's where it's going to start, here's where it's going to end. I've got the UI stuff like kind of gotten into that a little bit. Also, I actually, the last place I left off, now that I remember, was I was just iterating on making some aspects of the server better. So anyway, we're going to look at that and do some UI stuff and all of that. It's going to be great. So let's switch to this. And your chats will show up on the bottom this way. Yep, over there. Yoink. They'll show up on the bottom right over there. So feel free to throw in some chats. I'm going to pop up Spotify and we'll listen to K-pop Demon Hunters. No, just kidding. We're going to listen to the Stream Beats stuff that's supposed to be royalty free, so you don't have to see ads. I don't put ads on my videos, but I think if you get a song in your video that it has royalties on it or whatever, then they will show ads, so they can give money to the copyright owners. And as much as I'd love to do that, I don't want you all to see ads, so we're not going to. You should probably just get YouTube Premium. It is fabulous. It is so good. Anyway, let's see. Let's go to the Epic Me MCP and pull that over here. And I had this conversation, and we were working on improving things one at a time. So let me see where we're at. Yeah, please apply these changes. Okay, there we go. 19.4% of my tokens used. What is it? You know what, here, let's stop. Let's back it up. Let's start. Please make changes in tools for the enhancing the tool descriptions. Okay. To make them, there we go, more actionable and helpful for agents. There we go. Just gotta, like, these workflow things, they can be really difficult to remember to do the better thing. Okay, here we go. And we got, so yeah, we'll just, as it's going, I can evaluate each one as we go. Okay, first, I think what I'm gonna do is we're going to .trim, whoops. Oh, great, I messed that up. There we go. Okay. Yeah, that's gonna, yeah, this is too bad. While it's editing, it keeps on like changing things because it gets lost and it does, I don't know how cursor works, but it seems that, oh yeah, it removed the trim call because it saw, yeah, the syntax error. So that's funny. Maybe I should just wait, but there are a bunch of tools in here. Do I really want to wait that long? So I also, one question that I often get is, like I say, you don't want your server to just be a wrapper around a REST API or something. It's a poor user experience. But I was like really wrestling with that because I'm not sure of a better way to design this server than do that. So that's interesting. But in thinking about it some more and actually even talking with the AI assistant here, I came to realize that it's not so much that you don't want to be like a REST wrapper, but like that your tool has a good agent experience, that like the things that should be called and stuff should be outlined in a reasonable manner, I guess, if that makes sense. Like it should be clear how to use the tools. And so that's part of what we're doing here in updating the tools, is like helping explain to the agent what these tools are used for, what order to call certain tools in, that sort of thing. So, hi Priyansh. I'm not sure. I'm probably saying your name wrong. Hello. Yeah, follow me and I will guide you. Just, yeah, do what I do, I guess. I don't know. You can ask specific questions during my office hours and I'll do my best to help it. Okay, let's review this now that it's done. I am going to add the .trim. It's not really necessary, but I like it. I feel like it's right. I like this one. Use this when user has to be logged in or sign up. You need to access their journal data. User mentions they want to use their account. Kind of feel like yeah. I think this is not quite right. We want to have it use this when, oops, you have trouble accessing their journal data. There we go. That's, which they can then provide, or which you then call with which you then call validate token tool. There we go. Okay, cool. Yep. There we go. Okay, cool. View your journal entries. Yeah, we'll, this tool doesn't really actually do anything yet. Okay. Oops. Okay. I would actually say, is it necessary to log out if you want to switch accounts? I don't actually think it is. When we validate, so if you wanted to, oh, I just realized I put the view journal in the wrong spot. Create validation token. We would just use the grant ID. We'd reassign the grant ID. So you could actually switch an account differently. Switching accounts does not require this tool. Simply call the authenticate tool again with the new email address. Okay. Cool. Yeah, that one's good. Okay. Create a new journal entry. You can and create new relevant tags with create tag tool. Okay, cool. I kind of feel like some of this stuff should just be moved into instructions so we don't have to repeat ourselves. Like, yeah, okay, I know that I can call list tags. I know I can call create tag. Okay, let's back this up. I actually think that we should make our instructions in index. Yeah. Describe the general use of the tools and how they're related to one another, because otherwise we end up repeating ourselves in the tool descriptions, and that can be a lot of unnecessary context to give the model. Yeah. Index in our MCP. For describing the available tools and how they can be used together to manage the user's journal. That way we can keep the descriptions of the individual tools simple. And yep. Send that along, revert. Man, I love that. That is really nice. So much manual typing. Who is manually typing? Oh, it's Angie Jones. Hello, friend. Gonna be doing some MCP UI stuff a little bit later. It's gonna be great. We're using React Router, so I've got, here's my token input. It's just like regular React Router route. Pretty awesome. And then I've got my journal viewer in here, which, yeah, right now we've got an authentication issue. There's not really a way to authenticate this, so I have an idea of what we can do, like a temporary token thing that the iframe will pass to the params, and then I can resolve that and know who is accessing this. I think that'll work out pretty well. But it would be nice to get something in the spec for authenticated MCP UI. Okay, sweet. Anyway, let's see here. Let's just keep all this. Okay, tool usage patterns. To know whether the user is authenticated or not. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Before you can use any tools, the user must be authenticated. Check. If they are not, ask the user for an email address. And then ask them for the 6-digit or the validation token. Okay, there we go. I kind of like that better. Here, turn this into a list of steps. That's kind of what I just undid, but whatever. Yeah, we'll keep it and then I'll fix it. It does not like doing those back ticks. There we go. Okay, cool. Hey, Glassy Drink, what is up? Journal management, create. Basic CRUD operations are available for entries, tags, and the tag entry relationship. I think we need to get rid of that. Yeah, I want to say like verify that they want things to be deleted, but we've got a elicitation for that. We ask, so it's fine. if you support MCP UI. I don't know if any LLM knows that it supports MCP UI, but if you support MCP UI, just don't know how useful that information is. And honestly, this feels like this should be just an unordered list. Yep, okay, there we go. Cool. So then we can go over to tools and our descriptions can be simple, which they already kind of are. So I think we're actually good. Okay, great. I think that we're good with our tool descriptions now that we have good instructions. Let's move on to your next suggestion. Or actually, you know what? Yeah, go ahead and simplify any tool descriptions that can be and should be simplified now that we have better instructions. Did I change the file? Reading piece by piece, 100 lines at a time-ish. It's kind of weird that it has to do things that way. Maybe it's like chunking things or something, I don't know. Which cursor plan am I using? The $20 a month plan, I think. Pretty sure. All right, let's do this thing. I feel like there's kind of some repetition in here. Okay, we'll just keep all, whatever. The token. User session with yeah, go with that. Okay. Yeah, okay, good. Let's come back here. All right, let's go on to your next suggestion. Can you make those changes, please? I don't remember what the next suggestion was, but it will. If it burns a lot quicker, I don't know. It seems to work pretty well for me. I'm pretty happy with it. Based on the 200K limit, I'm guessing I'm using Sonnet, but I always just switch it to auto. I don't know. Maybe I'm living below my capabilities, but I feel like pretty happy with it. So, I don't know. Okay, giving more useful error message. Yep, love that. Okay. Good. Oops, here we go. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Would you call that an invariant? Probably not. We're gonna keep that. Yeah, see, I like this idea of once you have done something, so here we've created an entry, now you tell it. Give it ideas of what else it could do next. The emojis are fun. Yeah, you can now find entries to add. Yep. Sure, I can keep those. Huh, why did I get rid of the structured content? No, we gotta keep that. Oh, whoops, I mean, we need to keep that. I'm not sure that this is all that useful, but maybe. Okay. Great. What's next? Let's keep going until we've done all the agreed upon solutions. Add a help tool. Here. I don't think that we need a help tool. Is there anything else that we still need to do? If not, then I think we're done. Otherwise, go ahead and do it. I just can't remember what it suggested. Okay, I think we did everything. Great. So all that we really did was fix up the instructions and fix up some of the descriptions and the responses, which is all very useful. So that's good. Could you evaluate my prompts? Yeah, okay, I didn't think that was there. Um, could you implement these improvements, please? Doodaloo. The challenging part will be taking these improvements and applying them to the workshops. That will be kind of annoying. But we must do it because the workshops should represent the very best. So, okay, good. Yeah, so this actually just occurs to me. The LLM doesn't get to choose, request these prompts. We could add a tool to get these prompts. I do this myself, and it's actually quite handy. Do I want to do that? Yeah, sure. Let's do it. For the instructions to actually be useful, the LLM will have to be able to access the prompts. And the way that the spec is written for MCP, they won't actually have access to the prompts. Instead, we need to have the prompts be extracted so that we can have a tool that returns these prompts as content. And then we can have a tool to get the instructions. So we could have a tool for get suggest tags instructions, for example. Could you go ahead and do that? Let's see what it does. Shouldn't be too bad. This is a little bit tricky because each one of these is defined inside of a initialize callback thing. So yeah, you know what? It occurs to me when I teach about prompts, I should probably have an exercise step to do exactly this. Expose the prompt as a tool so the LLM can decide if it wants to use that prompt. Okay, register get tag suggestions. That's not what I would call it. It's not what I, what the? We don't need a get instructions tool. That's unnecessary. And we want to make sure we're reusing the prompts from the prompts.ts file. Can you update the prompts.ts file to make the prompts accessible via a function call, and then call that both in the prompts and in the tools? That way we don't have duplication between these files. Let's just do this. I am out of water. I should probably go get water. I'll be right back. Okay, here we go. Let's see where we're at. We're in prompts. We removed a bunch of stuff. Create, suggest, do. Yep. Very good. Okay, it doesn't like types, but okay. Okay, we'll make that better. Sweet. Then we update this. This is actually going to be really quite nice. I do this for when I want to prompt the cursor to write instructions for an exercise. I have a prompt for that, but and actually cursor now supports prompts, but it's even easier to use with the tool because the LLM already has the context for which exercise we're talking about and stuff like that, like where we're working. It's better. Okay, and this summarize journal entries with the hyphens, that's not working. We're gonna just standardize on underscores. So there's that. Okay, keep all this. Then we're gonna go find the any types. We're gonna make this better typed. Now we're talking. There we go. Okay, and then, yeah, tags. Great, okay, so then we can come over here. I should have committed before I did this. Oh well. Get tag suggestions, instructions. Okay, this should be get instructions on how to suggest tags for a journal entry. There we go, and get instructions for how to summarize journal entries. Okay, and then this Yeah, okay, the way that this is done is not quite right. Yeah, let's go to Epic Shop. I filter the messages and just grab the content. Let's do tools, prompt, init prompt tools. I actually think we're gonna do that too in here. We have our initialized tools, but I also want, yeah, how are we gonna do this? Oh, I know what we're gonna do. First, we're gonna take this and we're gonna move these to here. We already have a require user. We can get rid of that. And require grant ID. There we go. Okay, so then we go over here to tools and yoink. There we go. That's better. Okay, so then we can initialize prompt tools. I think we want to do yeah, I messed that up. Okay, let's see. Yeah, let's just do one at a time. Push. Get down here. And same with this. Okay, sweet. So then we can come in here and add, yeah, for authenticated agent, authenticated tools, push, and then let's grab our prompt tools. There we go. So now we have kind of a separation. I suppose we could do initialize ooh, you know what? I could have it return. So we'd have initialize I wish the SDK were different. Oh, cool. What's up, D4S? Glad that, yeah, glad to see that the Microsoft's MCP Dev Days talk was inspiring. That's good. Yeah, the thing is, like, these tool arrays I use to automatically enable and disable different things based on whether you're authenticated and stuff. That is not the end game. That's not the way I want it to be. So I'm not going to invest any more into it. The problem is clients don't really support list changed very well anyway. So yeah. Okay, get tag suggestion instructions. Okay, from here then, yeah, we just do this. Yeah, get embedded resource content. Let's toss this down here at the bottom. Ooh, right. Client supports embedded resources. This kills me. I'm pretty much assuming that the client supports the latest of everything. Yeah. Oh man, this is kind of annoying. I just wish that clients would support things. All right, I gotta know this. Here, let's look at, there is, example client, here we go. Claude. I don't know when this was last updated, but, here we go. So it's pretty general. Checkmark supports resources and tools. Does it support embedded tools? Yeah. Well. Hold on. Yeah, we just return m.content. Yeah, yep, okay. Okay, yeah. That is the way that we're gonna do it. Huh. I think we're gonna just say if there we go. There we go. Yep, that's it. They're pretty simple. Could probably make a utility to do this automatically. Okay, cool. You know what would be cool is a prompt that like has the LLM ask questions. Like, I want to write a journal entry, but I don't know what to write about. That would be a cool prompt. Let's just do that. Let's just do that. But actually, before I do, great, I'm happy with the way things look now. I've made some updates. Can you evaluate my prompt in the sampling? Let's see. Okay, so 1, good idea. 2, good idea. 3, I actually don't know. 3, context enhance it. Consider adding a confidence score or reasoning field to the response. What would I do with that? 4. What would I do with that? Oh, actually, yeah, I think actually I am still interested. What would I do with those? Oh. That is actually a great idea. We could do an elicitation. But we would want the that is actually really interesting. Yeah, but we would want the elicitation to not stop the other things from getting applied. 3, that's a really good idea, and we could use an elicitation for that. Feel free to check out the tools for an example of how to perform an elicitation. I would want to make sure that the elicitation doesn't prevent the application of the other suggestions, so this would need to be kind of a fire and forget thing. We could put in a utility function inside of sampling. For reasoning field, what we'd do with it. I think having reasoning is useful. If we do an elicitation, we can display that to the user as part of the elicitation. Let's implement each one of these one by one. Start with the first idea. I forgot what I wanted to do. I thought, oh, we should, oh, it was a prompt for writing a journal entry. Yeah. Ah. Okay. Let's be a little forward thinking and make sure our examples include the confidence and reasoning properties as well. Oh, see, now it's jumping ahead. Why are we doing the iffy? Oh, because it's a fire and forget. Yeah, okay. I probably shouldn't change things while it's working. All right, here we go. And we're gonna get results. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Sweet. So not null. I forget how to do that. Yeah, there we go. Actually, here, let's just make this async. Boom, there we go. We're gonna need, for tags that have or are existing and have an ID, we need to resolve those tags from the database to display their name. And I could do that, but I think maybe I've got let's see. Okay, cool, that's fine. Not sure that I love this. See, they'd have to add the ID themselves. This elicitation is going to present a form for the user. I think that the current structure of our request schema is going to require the user to type the ID of the tags, and I think we can do better for them. Can we instead have an array of, or a mapping of, all of the tags and give the user a Boolean value for each one of those items? That way they're presented with checkboxes instead. Man, I've got a long conversation going. I should probably start a new conversation. Instead of having the new tag be identified by its name, let's have it be identified by its index. I can't help but feel like this could be better. How do I... I think I would like to have each of these fields follow the pattern. I don't like this. Why do you do that? Yeah, how about that? That's better. Okay, I think that is going to be better. Let's just keep that and we'll go through it. Getting a phone call. Oh, never mind. Yeah, sure, accept that. Yeah, see, we kind of have that in here, so we don't need tag descriptions. Where's my Zod schema? Let's parse the elicitation result with Zod. Okay. I think this is a way cool feature. I hope it works. Yeah, let's just see if it works. All right. And let's go to VS Code. Honestly, the only client that supports like the vast majority of MCP. Okay. We're on 8877. Start this guy. Open. Boom. Authenticated. Beautiful. Okay. Yeah, sure. Update now. Welcome. Thank you. Okay, let's start it again. Running. Let's make a new conversation. I want to write a journal entry. Me plus VS Code at kentcdons.com. Canceled. Did I cancel it? Whoops. Sorry, try that again. Continue. Sweet. Where is it? This guy? Oh yeah, there's the MCP UI right there. If I open this up, look at that. But it won't actually do anything because this uses MCP UI. So I could do whatever in here and it's just nothing's gonna happen. We need MCP UI in VS Code. I think they're working on it. Validate user's input, continue. Working, you are not now authenticated. Please make up something for me and write a journal entry. Make it about bunnies. Oh, hold on. Okay. Now, I was expecting a sampling request to happen right there, but I didn't get one. Actually, let's do entry 4. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so no tags were applied. What happened to the sampling request? Well, that's unexpected. Very unexpected. Oh, client doesn't support sampling. There it is. Huh. That's interesting. This could be a problem. What the devil is going on with Beat? I do not know. Yeah, this could be a problem with the way that what's Cloudflare handles the client capabilities, because I've had this problem before with some other stuff. Watch this. This is crazy. Server get capability, client capabilities, console log. We'll give it 1 second. Init. Okay, here we go. So let's quit that. Start it over again. Okay, good. Let's restart that server. Okay. Would you look at that? Very interesting. This is getting called twice. Oh, init is getting called a bunch of times. What the devil? Why is init getting called so many times? I don't have another turn this guy off, turn this guy off. Yeah, I gotta figure that one out. Okay. Well, I don't know why this would get called so many times. Okay. Try it again. Huh. Who made the request that resulted in that? That's my question right there. Okay. So we got init, and then we got another init. We got this and this. Why did we get two inits? That's my question. And the fact that the second one ended up getting undefined as the client capabilities, that's a big problem. And I can reproduce this without VS Code. So let's get rid of VS Code for a second. Let's just open up the regular old inspector. Connect. We got one initialize right there. Yeah, close this guy. Why are we getting this? Why is this happening? Okay, stop this. Start it again. Why is this happening? Who's making a call? Who's making that call? So I don't have the inspector running. VS Code is not running. Claude is not running. Nothing's running. I open this up. That requested. Okay. Okay. Great. So then I start this. Still nothing. Good. As expected. And then I say connect. Okay. We are still getting 2 inits, which is honestly, it's better than I had before, because what I got before was there would be 1 init, but I still would get these 2 capabilities console logs after this set timeout. And that was like really confusing. So progress, I guess. Let's just check if the constructor is called twice. And my goodness, React Router Dev does not like this at all. Huh. Who knows? It's probably fine. All right, let's just stop it just to be sure. Constructor called. Okay. Hey, that time we only got 1 init. I wonder why that's happening. Interesting. Who is establishing this connection? We're not connected. Good grief. All right. Nobody's here, nobody's here. We're all good. Run the inspector. We should still be all good. Then I connect. And we get our constructor in it, and we get our constructor again. I have a feeling this is just like a development issue. Something weird going on. But that is really confusing. So let's see if we can figure out, like, even if the constructor is called twice, that shouldn't be a problem. We just get the latest one. So my question is, why does client capabilities get set to undefined? Oh, you know what? Here's a way we can test things. Let's do I have access to global? Let What's console log? Module. Okay, I'm only seeing that once, so that is good. If I say global dot, here, we'll do global this dot, hello, world. And then that's just console log. Yeah, whatever. That is driving me bonkers. Okay, good. So our global is there. So now my question is, global this, or if global this dot server equals this dot server, then console log. Yes. Okay, so now my question is, the second time we initialize, here, let's say, no. Well, that's interesting. We're getting a whole bunch more of those. Why are we getting so many? I'm so confused. Who is making these calls? Close you. What else we got? Oh, you know what? That could be causing trouble for us. It could be. I had Goose open. Maybe Goose is making a bunch of requests. Sorry, I just got distracted by email. Okay, I'm gonna send an email. You can watch me do it. Give me just a second. Okay. Hold on a sec. I gotta switch